sweet potato pie, candied yams. Yeah, any of those things sound like something that would be on your holiday menu this year? Well, let me tell you, if you have ever had a sweet potato pie or candied yams or even just a baked yam made with yams grown fresh from the garden, oh, glory. Hey everybody, it's Savannah Taylor, the Gardenista, your kitchen garden coach, and I have been so excited to bring back this series. I did touch on it a little bit when I launched my winter garden series, and I showed you guys a beautiful harvest of sweet potatoes that I had for fall. And I'm telling you, my sweet potato pies hit so different. They hit real different when the yams are from your own garden. So I'm excited to show you guys how to do it, how to do that process. Now, it is springtime and yams do require warm weather. But see, now is the time to start the process, and I'm going to show you why. Now, sweet potatoes and regular potatoes are not grown the same way at all. They're very, very different. Sweet potato yams are actually of what's called the morning glory family, and they can actually be grown as house plants. I did grow mine as house plants for a while, but they really grow and get all up into the blinds and everything. So I had to kind of reconsider if I want to keep that in the house. But if you have the space for a beautiful house plant that really sprawls and needs a lot of space, then you absolutely would probably love to grow sweet potatoes in your home. So that said, I have here some sweet potatoes, yams that I have purchased from the store, and I wanted to do this process all from the beginning, just to show you guys how to do it. What you want to do is you definitely want to buy organic sweet potatoes, organic yams. The reason is because sometimes they will spray the yams with certain something so that they won't sprout. And when you try to do the process, it won't work. So it's best to stick with organic yams. And usually there is a section that will have organic yams available. And you can always try your health food store. Okay. So what I've done here is I've actually taken my yams and I've laid them in the dirt this way. And I just did this a couple days ago. So there's no action yet. But here are some clips I will show you of the process. Now, I know some people have done it where you stick the yam in a jar of water and then you put the toothpicks around it and then you get the slips or the sprouts. Okay, that way. And you can absolutely do it that way. I just love this way better because you get the whole energy of the yam. Okay. You get the whole energy of the yam and it's already in the soil. All right. And it will continue to put off those slips, as they call them, or those shoots, the leaves, which is what you need to plant your sweet potatoes. Right. So, what you want to do is once you bring your yams or your one yam from the store, you don't really need this many. I'm telling you, all you need is really one yam. It's just that I like to grow a lot of sweet potatoes. So you lay them in the dirt like this. And what's going to happen is they are going to grow the slips. It's going to be like a plant. All right. And then once those slips get to about, oh, I would say about 6 inches tall, 6 inches tall or taller, but at least 6 inches tall. What you're going to do is you're going to gently remove the slip from the yam. All right. And I will do a follow-up video on this for those of you who really want a step-by-step, but I'm giving you the general if you want to get started and we'll follow through. But just pull the root out of the yam very gently, the slip out of the root very gently. And then what you're going to do is you're going to place that slip in water. Okay. And you can do this, of course, with more than one slip. I encourage it if you want to have a nice, bountiful harvest. And so once you put those slips in water, you're going to notice very quickly that a root system is going to start, is going to form. And that's what we want. We want a beautiful root system. Y'all know how I feel about roots. Okay. So once that root system has been established, then you can take those slips out of the jar of water and put them in soil. Now, what I recommend, I did plant my slips in the ground last season, but this season I'm going to actually put them in grow bags. And if you haven't, seen any of the grow bags that I use for growing around my patio here, I will have them down in the link below. I'll tell you why. Now, you can also use a shopping bag. All right. You can go old school if you want to. You can use a shopping bag. Just make sure that you put holes at the bottom, drainage holes at the bottom of it so that the water doesn't get all nasty and that the water can stay free flowing. You can put those in a shopping bag, but I'm going to use grow bags. The reason why I really like growing potatoes in bags is because when time comes to harvest them, you got to be really careful. You don't want to poke them or scrape them, or, if you're digging and you're using a shovel, you don't want to do that because there is, if you bruise them, they can get ruined. Okay. And there is a period of time that once you harvest the yams, they need to dry out. They need to, go through a process of just coming out of the ground. And the longer you let them do that, the sweeter they get. And again, I will be doing follow-up videos on this, but this is just to get you guys started because now, like I said, is the time to start this process if you want to have some delicious sweet potato pies or candied yams for the fall for your holiday table. Okay. So again, you lay the yams in the soil. They're going to grow slips, which or sprouts. And again, if you want to do this indoors and grow your own morning glory plant, you can. And even still, if you have your own morning glory plant, you can take it from your plant any time of the year, right? And start this process. So again, you're going to put it in water. It's going to start a root system. Once that beautiful root system starts, you're going to take that and put it in the soil. And those roots are actually the beginnings of the tubers or the yams or the potatoes, as we call them. Okay. So they're going to, they need plenty of room too. So you don't want to do these close together when you plant them. You want to make sure that your slips, even though they're little sprouts, they're little plants, you still want to make sure they have plenty of space because if you plant these too close together, you're going to get small potatoes, small yams. And that goes for regular potatoes. And I'll do a separate video, like I said, on growing regular potatoes. But those roots, you have to kind of imagine that those are going to become the yams, right? So you want to give them plenty of room. You want to give them plenty of space. I'm probably going to grow no more than 2 slips in a 20-gallon pot, maybe 3. I'll probably put 3 in a 20-gallon grow pot. And again, if you want to try my grow bags that I have available in my Amazon store, they're wonderful. And I'll tell you why really quickly, just in general, the grow bags are better than ceramic pots because these grow bags, the technology is wonderful. Number one, they're mobile. You can pick them up and move them if it's maybe too hot or the sun is beaming down on whatever you've planted. You can pick them up and move them around. That's one. Number two, the fabric of these particular grow bags controls the environment, the water environment. So when you water, the water gets, distributed evenly and it runs out. And the roots, once the roots touch the edge of the bag, instead of that bag getting root bound, it just redirects the roots, right? It keeps the plant healthy so that it doesn't get root bound. And they're just, the technology of these grow bags have come so far. And I love these particular ones that I use. And again, I have a link to the grow bags in my Amazon store. They come in small, medium, large, and of course I have them every size. And two, when you're growing in pots, and I know this is kind of getting off with the yams, but this is just FYI as a kitchen gardener. These grow bags are so wonderful especially if you have problems with little critters. I don't have any little critters, but I just like the controlled environment of the bag. And if there is some activity going on in my garden where I'm not too comfortable, just pick it up and move it, right? So I'll do more about the grow bags as we go along. But for now, with regards to the slips, if you guys have any questions with what I've talked about today with growing sweet potatoes and getting them started, please let me know down in the comments. I'm here for you guys. I just wanted to get this video out now because, like I said, the slips are going to need about, oh, I would say you're going to need about a good 4 weeks or so, for maybe 4 to 6 weeks to get a nice size slip to then remove. And you can, once they start growing, you can keep removing them as they come up and, planting them. But now is the time, even though it's still spring, to get them in the soil so that they have time to form. And by, like I said, November for your Thanksgiving, when you guys are getting ready to make sweet potato pies and make those candied yams, you will be good to go. Because again, remember, there is a process once you harvest them. They got to dry out. They need time. You don't want to yank them out of the garden and, put them right in the oven. They're not going to be sweet enough. So again, I'll do a follow-up video on that so that you can understand that whole process. Okay. So thank you guys so much for the love. I've enjoyed you all. Love your questions. Remember, there are no dumb questions. So feel free. I promise you, if whatever question you have, somebody else had the same question. Okay. Just like in school. But again, this is why kitchen gardens matter, you all. And I'm so glad I'm here for you. Thank you all for your excitement, bringing back kitchen gardens. Yay! All right. And I will see you all next time when we grow something else. Bye.